What's up? What's up? Welcome everybody to a special edition Sunday before the Saints game tonight. What's up, Dave? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Sunday fun day. You know what
I know. Our two other guys are missing in action tonight. You know.
Oh yeah. Pancho must be trying to sell some tickets somewhere. I know Chris has got some stuff going on.
He ain't selling no tickets. He ain't look. Since we short-handed, let's bring on our producer, Fatty 316, to join us, man.
Let's do it.
He might as well come on. What's up, Big Timer?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? That's the man. That's the man behind everything right there.
Yes, sir.
Second show for today.
How'd your show go today? Fatty?
We had a lazy one. We were just bullshit and making stupid jokes all day.
Man, that's hilarious. I catch it every night. That's hilarious. People gotta check it out. Make sure you share that on here, Fatty. People see it. I'm telling you right now. I tell people about it. They're interested in it. So.
Oh
yeah, no, I definitely want to get on the next one, man, for sure. I got to get on it.
Well, maybe Fatty can confirm if Jameis Winston's starting today. If car is sitting. It was supposed to be a late decision, but I just checked on it. I don't know if it's confirmed yet. You know, everything's.
I'll be here if you need me. I'm right here.
Everything's weird up in California right now with the hurricane and everything else, man. They didn't even know this game was going to be played.
Yeah, look, Hurricane Hillary, man, hitting Southern California. It's pretty crazy.
One of our loyal followers, man, Lance Post, man. He always follows us. What's up, brother?
Awesome.
We got to bring him on. He knows some football, man.
Hey, man, what's up with that Jimmy Graham situation, man?
But you know, there was people saying that it was a seizure and stuff. I thought they said he got pulled over, but they said he was walking.
I thought he got some of that good Cali herb, man, or something. I really did. I said, dude, I mean, look, I went out there in 2020, dude, and obviously, I mean, look, it's a different world in California, man. I mean, stuff's legal out there, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what it is, man. It's paid. I have family that lives out there, and believe it or not, you're not even allowed to smoke a cigarette on your front lawn.
No, but you can. I'll tell you, you can't maybe do that, but I'll tell you, you can get weed anywhere, man. Because I'll tell you, I went there, dude. Look, I'm gonna be real with you here. Look, I don't work for a corporation anymore, so I could say whatever.
We're not endorsing that.
No. But I'm just saying, if you want to get off the plane and you want to go to MedMen right there, and then hit In-N-Out Burger on the drive-through on the way to Santa Monica Boulevard, then hey, it's. I thought maybe I said, hey. Did this dude get his hands on some really good stuff here? Yeah. And, wander out to the street after a party or something. But,
So, we just confirmed it is Jameis is starting, Dave. You were right. He's getting a start. Thank you for that. Thank you, Fatty, for that, brother.
Awesome.
So, we'll get a good look at We'll get I'll tell you what, I was talking about Jameis the other day, and I know we're not beating this dead horse no more. I'm over it. I'm done with it. But I tell you what, I do feel really good about him being a backup. I tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's, I think that's where he is at this point in his career. I mean, I think he could, if a situation presents itself, maybe a year or two from now, where he could possibly fight for a starting job somewhere, it'll be good for him. So right now, I mean, it's kind of like an audition. I mean, everything you're doing right now, play the backup role well and be available for that.
So I guess the rookie. I wonder if they're going to split it in halves, and the rookie's going to come in the second half. Hayner.
I would think so, man. Let me ask you this. Here's the thing. I mean, maybe I'm missing it, but I remember last year we had the other cat from Mississippi State, Costanza, KJ Costello. Do we have anybody else that we're not thinking about here? I mean, maybe I haven't glanced over the full roster enough, but is there a fourth quarterbacks besides maybe?
What's up, Slugger? No, I mean that's basically it. I think at first they brought in four quarterbacks in the camp. But I think now they went with the three, so know.
I mean, which Taysom there too. I mean, like I said, Taysom was 72 as a starter, so I mean that's not a bad emergency option. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, you're pretty set at quarterback, but yeah, Jameis, dude. I mean, look, it's crazy. Last week to me was like the story of Jameis. You know what I'm saying? And not to rag on Jameis, but Jameis will make these great two throws, in a row, and then he'll have some inconsistencies. He'll take some sacks he doesn't need to take. Holding on a ball too long, he'll miss an open guy. He'll make a rough, ill-advised throw in the middle of the field. with 3 defenders around. But he's just gotta look like the Jameis we saw with Sean Payton, in my opinion. Manage the game. Don't throw the ball away when you throw it away. Don't take those sacks constantly.
And you know what you said. I agree with you. That kind of hurt him too with Sean Payton leaving. Sean Payton took him under his wing. Sean Payton was teaching him, and Sean Payton's good with that. That's kind of not his fault neither. You know what I mean?
Right,
it kind of would have been a different situation if Sean Payton would have still been here, I think.
Right. I mean, I think it's I think the little time he spent with Sean, I mean, it had to help him a little bit. I mean, to me, look, I mean, when you're around a coach like that who played quarterback himself, I mean, it helps. But
I'm glad he's going to start. We'll get to see him. I'm also looking, like you said, I'm also looking forward to that rookie Perry, man. He looked good last week.
Yeah, A.T. Perry, man, was really good. I think the only issue with A.T. Perry coming out of college, I mean, they had some character concerns you heard from other teams. But, I mean, look, dude, I mean, he looks like he's got something. That's for sure. I mean.
Well, I think people blow that out of proportion sometimes with the character issue because at the end of the day, you have to realize these are still college kids and they're having fun. They're not going to live the perfect lifestyle in college. Who does,
Exactly. And the people
even not in sports, Dave. I find college kids probably the same college that they start. They usually transfer in year 3 or something anyway.
Yeah, it's it's a little bit overblown. I mean, like you said, we've seen these players. I mean, who have what was the guy for? If Chris was on here, Laramie Tunsil plays for the Texans. He was drafted, for the Dolphins.
What's up, buddy?
What do you got? He had a bong or something, or a video where he was smoking her. I mean,
man, I tell you, Dave, we got some hardcore football views on right now, man. These cats know football. Y'all chime in, give us your opinion, what y'all think, what y'all looking for tonight. Y'all chime in. We want y'all to be involved, man. We always say one thing about our show: we want the viewers involved. Seriously, we want your opinion. We want to give our opinion. That's the main thing, That's how it works right here. So we was talking earlier, Dave. What about Breezy? We're looking at him tonight too, huh?
Yeah, defensive tackle, man. I like this kid. I mean, we know all about his story. I think a lot of fans are really kind of warmed up to this guy. He had a tough situation, with his sister and I mean, really difficult life situation there. But I mean, this kid.
What's up, Lewis? Who that, baby?
He's got talent. He's he's bounced back from some tough things in his life. I mean, he's a guy you definitely root for. And then you got Isaiah Foskey, from Notre Dame. The end. I mean, look, these defensive linemen to me are going to be really important. Because you lost David Onyemata. I mean, you lost Marcus Davenport. So there's definitely some guys shy Tuttle. So some of these young guys are going to have to step up.
Yeah, and I think Cam Jordan's going to help him a lot in his development. And who better to learn from? Who better learn from being a pro than Cam Jordan, the constant pro? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
a guy that lives life on and off the field the right way. Seriously, a great mentor, all of that. I think that helps out a lot. I tell you what, they saying good things from Cam right now. Man, he came in phenomenal shape. Not that he doesn't always, but they said he's in another gear right now, which we're gonna need.
Yeah, I mean, giving him that look. I mean, they extended him 2 more years in that contract. I mean, they obviously see something that they like. Hey, this guy's still got it. He's still in shape. But like you said, he's going to be a good mentor for these young cats as well. But yeah, Cam, like you said, perfect professional man, really smart dude. It's great having a guy like him. 6-time Pro Bowler. Dude can play still. No doubt about it.
I'm looking also too at the linebacking core right now. I don't know. I don't think Demario Davis is going to play tonight. I still think they're resting him a little bit. I really want to see, how we look right there. Man, I tell you what, I'm disappointed, and I was talking to my nephew about it yesterday, and my son. One guy I think is really going to come back to haunt us that we lost is Peyton Ellis.
Yeah, man, Atlanta was a good signing. I mean, Terry Fontenot, their general manager, spent all his time with us. He knew what to look for, and that was a guy he definitely took advantage of. I mean, they paid him more than what we could. They offered him, starting position over there. And I mean, look, hey, he had a really good year last year, Rich. I mean, this guy, he's a second-generation player, so he knows the game, but he plays hard, and it looks like he found himself last season. So
do you think it was more of a cap casualty, or do you think he wanted more money?
I think the cap definitely came into play. I mean, to me, if they weren't looking at this thing from a cap standpoint, I don't know what the hell the Saints were thinking. Because look, you got DeMario, who's one of the best at what he does. Still, you got Pete Warner, who's outstanding young player. I mean, but after that, I mean, it really fell off. I mean, Zach Bond was like your third linebacker, and I mean, I know we play a lot of 3 safety sets where you run in 2 linebackers out there, but man, I don't know. I just feel like depth's a little bit soft. I mean, if you lose to Mario Davis, for a while, you're going to be in some trouble. But then,
Yeah.
they added Jalen Smith, which is
that
going
was
to be, it's kind of a
it's
50
kind of.
thing.
I tell you what, if he can, I think a year off is going to help him with the injury that he had.
Yeah.
Because if he plays to half of his potential, he's a good cat. I mean, that's a good linebacker.
Yeah.
People don't really. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm saying him and Vander at one point in Dallas, man, was supposed to be like, they looked like they would be the next big 1-2 punch for many years to come.
Yeah,
the injury really took its toll on him.
Yeah, I tell you what, Lance just commented. He said Jawan Johnson's about to ball out this year. I think so too.
Yeah. I mean, look, fantasy talk. I mean, that dude's up there. He's starting to work his way up the boards at the tight end position for sure.
Yeah. Well, look, my boy Slugger said he's not saying nothing. It's preseason. They run vanilla offenses, this and that. I think preseason nowadays is a little different to me because I think they're expecting a lot more out of the rookies now. So I really think they want to see more. I think they don't run too much. I mean, I still think it's still a little vanilla, but I think they do run plays that they'll run during the season and stuff like that just to see what they got in these rookies. What you think, Dave?
Yeah, no, I agree, Richie. I think there's definitely a little more spice to the play call. But, I mean, I agree with the vanilla looks a little bit maybe on, say with defensive plays, defensive coordinators. Outside of rookies, when their first-string guys are in, I don't think you get any crazy creativity coming from the defensive coordinator. But see, like for us, it was a little weird last week because Derek Carr's here. I think you definitely that was a playbook you're going to see in week 1, week 2. I think they really wanted to draw up something nice for him. It wasn't just a simple handoff, throw a slant, and then get off the field. They had some scripted plays that they wanted to, work on with a new quarterback. So our situation, I think, is a little bit more unique, But no, I understand the preseason thing. It's funny, about a third preseason game, we're always kind of like, hey, let's just get this shit over with. Let's play week 1.
Yeah, you're right. So look, my boy Louis Luna, he chimed in. He said, if Dennis Allen needs to focus more on the defense, we'll be okay. Let the offense do its thing. I think that's really why they brought John Gruden in here. Yeah. I really do. Because I think Dennis Allen really wants to focus more on the defense.
Yeah, and look, dude, I mean, I think he has to. You got a lot of talent there.
I'm on Stephen Bouquois.
That's what's Hey, how far are we away from kickoff, man? We're
not far away. We got a ways to go, man. It's only 5:18. Kickoff 6 o'clock.
Good.
We're not making you miss anything, man.
I got you, man. No, I'm just wondering, man. I'm like, hey, man. I'm like, shit. I didn't know what time it was, man. Got my battery down on my watch, so I'm like, yeah, dude, what's going on here? But Rich, let me ask you this, dude.
Yeah, Steven's keeping us up. He said a half an hour. We're good to go.
There we go. Hey, I mean, I know we want to talk mainly on the Saints game, but hey, man, anything you saw yesterday that caught your attention on these? We had a lot of Saturday games.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, I'm looking at this is crazy. And with Cincinnati, that rookie Brown, the rookie running back, I think he's going to make a push for Joe Mixon's job.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch much of that game, but I know they got him. They got that cat Chris Evans, and I mean, I don't think Mixon's going to be. I mean, I know they restructured Mixon, but Mixon seems like a guy that could lose some carries to one of those two guys at some point. I mean, look, they played Samaje Perine a lot last year.
Oh yeah, I tell you. So yesterday, I noticed with Atlanta. To me, I think they're gonna. I know. We said we think Atlanta's gonna be better than what people think, but I tell you what, they got a lot of issues on that offensive line.
And what's weird? That's a lot of guys that have played with each other for a while. I mean, they have Lindstrom, McGarry. I think Matthews is still over there. There's some guys that were high draft picks have been with each other for 3 or 4 years at least. So yeah, I mean, they got to figure it out, man. Maybe that, like you said, it's get the kinks out in preseason, and I mean, Bijan Robinson, I heard, the first couple he had a couple carries or something.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good early on, but he's a guy that a lot of people are watching, especially in fantasy league. Man,
I tell you what, Dave. Look, you can mark this down, and I keep telling people, and we all pay attention to fantasy football. I have the number 1 pick, and I'm gonna in the dynasty league, and I'm gonna shock people, and I'm being honest. I'm taking Gibbs first.
I know you said something about that, man. Look, it's an interesting pick, and hey, here's my thing. I don't hate on it one bit. I mean, look, I think Gibbs has less competition in that backfield. Nothing against David Montgomery,
Well,
but I think
the
Tyler
thing about
Algier
it
is the
is,
horse.
the thing about it is, Dave, and we all say this. We pay attention to everything. You have to take into account the team around the player too.
Right.
And to me, Gibbs has a much better structure around him than Robinson does. I mean, Gibbs has got Detroit's got one of the best lines in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta really. I mean, look, we were still. I know they're saying all the right things about Desmond Ridder, but we still don't know if Desmond Ridder is the guy. I mean, they got Taylor Heineke sitting back there. They signed him to a contract for a reason. If Ridder by say week 4 or 5 isn't looking too good at all, they might go pull the trigger on him. I mean, and go to Taylor Heineke. I mean, it's. So it's a lot of questions there. Jared Goff is definitely in a good place right now. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So yeah, there's definitely some talent around. I mean, James.
So Steven was asking about John Gruden. No, Steven, we was talking about John Gruden came to camp a couple of times and was helping with the offense and stuff. And we just think that that's a lot to do with taking Dennis Allen away from the a lot of the other duties as far as with the whole team and focusing on the defense a lot. But look, Lance also said Carolina's line is horrible, which I agree.
Yeah,
they're gonna get Bryce Young. They're gonna get Bryce Young killed this year.
Dude, I don't like the situation. And it's funny. We're talking about badly ran organizations. And it's funny about Carolina because they're not like, you don't think of them as like the worst, but I don't like some of the decisions that they've made the last couple of years. And I mean, look, I'm not saying Frank Reich is going to do a bad job as a head coach, but I thought you had a guy with Steve Wilks who was really heating that team up last year, going in the right direction.
What you just said about Frank Reich, what did Frank Reich do?
Not nothing. I mean, in Indianapolis, he did nothing. And
to me, it's crazy. He ran it. He had a team that completely failed, and then you get another head coaching job the same year.
It's a little weird, man. And Steve Wilks, he took over, early in the season when they fired their coach.
That was unfair. Steve Wilks should have got an opportunity to coach that team.
Dude, he had that team really. Remember, our weak division was up for grabs late, and they were right there in the mix. I mean, look, Carolina was playing good ball. They were competitive under that guy. And, I mean, to me, you had this good young defense. You got a defensive-minded coach who looked like he had those guys, playing together. It looks like he had a good vibe.
What's up, my brother Donald? Who that? All these guys, man. We got some football.
Everybody's popping in.
That's good night.
Well, look, but Richie, here's my thing too, though, dude. This is what I think Carolina did wrong too. And I mean, look, Bryce Young, we all know him from the SEC, from Alabama. I'm not saying Bryce Young's the wrong pick, but they put a lot of gamble on that Bryce Young pick because, dude, they gave up DJ Moore, really solid receiver in his prime. You gave up all sorts of draft capital. And so right now, this kid's got a ton of pressure from day one. Like you said, the offensive line doesn't look good. I'm not the biggest fan of his receivers. I mean, DJ Chark, Adam Thielen's in his mid-30s. His best days are behind him. We don't know about Jonathan Mingo. I'm not real sold on a tight end position.
I tell you what, man. I see you asked about this weekend. I watched a few of Adam Thielen's plays, man. He's lost a step big time. Big time.
I mean, he's a good route runner. He's still crafty, but he doesn't have that juice to be a number one receiver. Let's be real.
You're right.
And that's the thing. To me, this kid's going to have some pressure.
Yeah, did you hear the article they did on Chris Olave this week?
No, I didn't see it.
Now listen, this is shocking. Now, I mean, this is a local guy, but some people think he's one of the best route runners in the league.
Look, Chris Olave is a heck of a player, man. I think with him and Mike, dude, Jawan Johnson. I mean, look, Derek Carr is not going to have any shortage of weapons, But Chris Olave, dude, year 2, dude. Look, I mean, a lot's going to be statistically. I hope people don't judge him too much on his stats this year because I think if Mike's healthy and Mike plays in 14 or 15 games, his stats might not take that big leap because Michael Thomas is there, Jawan Johnson's there. But, dude, I think he's going to put together a really good year. You know what I mean? I think his numbers are going to be solid. And, dude, he's a heck of a receiver, man. I mean, no doubt about it.
I think people a lot are on board with the Jawan Johnson thing because we all know Derek Carr loves his tight ends, which it's good. Yeah. It's a good thing. But I just think – I don't know – I think the difference of this whole offense is the health of Michael Thomas.
Yeah, it opens everything else up, man. I mean, last year I remember talking about that. We were like, a lot of fans were hyped on the Jarvis Landry thing. I wasn't as big of a fan. No disrespect to Jarvis. I mean, he's had a nice career, LSU guy, local guy. But I wasn't sold that Jarvis Landry was going to be a number 1 or number 2 receiver. And I mean, after that, once Thomas got hurt, you were hurt that receiver. I mean, Olave had a brilliant rookie season, but your depth's a lot better now, I think. I mean, Rashid Shaheed, the injury, hopefully bounces back from that. But I mean, A.T. Perry looks the part, I mean.
Yeah.
I think he had a little more depth.
Fatty just brought the article out with the Chris Olave and Michael Thomas torching the Chargers secondary. And look, the Chargers got some good secondary players back there, man.
Absolutely, yeah, man. There's a lot of talent back there.
Derwin James ain't no joke. That's one of the best safeties in the league.
One of the best. Yeah, one of the best. I mean, what is J.C. Jackson?
Thank you for that, Fatty. So look. I mean, I know it's practice, and I know people say, "Oh, it's just practice." Believe it. I mean, they're going at it, man. Them teams, especially when you're playing another. You look forward to playing against another team because you're getting beat up against your own team all camp. So you're looking forward to doing it.
Yeah, these joint practices, dude. They're definitely always. You see some fights breaking out. You see some trash talking. So I mean, yeah, it's a pretty cool week of that, No
and speaking about secondaries, I tell you what, tonight I don't. I think Lattimore's out too. He's not playing, but so we're gonna get a good look at Taylor and Adebo. I think that's good. You're gonna finally see 1 and 2 what we got going on right there. I think my problem with Taylor is, I think he bites too much on balls.
He's a little aggressive, man. I mean, the crazy thing about Taylor is, though, I see a lot of fans on Facebook judging him from last week, and I'm like, man, it's crazy to me because this kid is a rookie last year. I was saying this for a while. Look, I mean, I know Chris Olave got a lot of recognition because we played fantasy and he's the offensive guy. But, dude, at one point last year, I was like, that's our best draft pick right there was Alontae Taylor. Yeah. For a long part of last year. I mean, that dude was money. I mean, he's physical. He's got good hands. He can run with anybody. I think he had, it was, like you said, he was aggressive on some plays. He didn't have a good first week in preseason, but they got the kid playing some different spots, in a slot that he wasn't used to before. And, I mean, look. I don't want to write this guy off,
I don't blame him. Look, neither me. I don't want to write him off neither. But I tell you what, look, Steven just said something about the guy from TCU putting him on special teams. He runs fast.
Oh, from the Chargers or for us? For Kendre Miller you talking about? Or
Yes.
Yeah, now Kendre Miller, man, I'm very happy that that injury wasn't anything severe, man, because I was really looking forward to seeing this kid this year. And, he could do a little bit of everything. He's a good athlete. I like the idea of him getting as many snaps as possible, special teams, running back, whatever it has to be. Get the kid on the field.
I think we got to see all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, look, and another guy to watch tonight, on the other side of the ball is his former college teammate. I mean, Quentin Johnson. I mean, you talk about a receiver that they took really high. I mean, and look, they already had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in-house, and they draft this kid out of TCU, the receiver. So I mean, he's gonna be a fun guy to watch. I'm not
high on him. Shit, we were talking about him in fantasy this year in the Dynasty League, Dave. I'm not high on him. He's not on my radar as far as the running back, the rookie wide receivers this year.
He's interesting, man, because, I mean, some guys are really high. I mean, to me, there's one receiver I got above everybody else. I mean, not to get too deep into fantasy, but I like Jordan Addison better than any other receiver.
Me too. I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
But Quentin Johnson's, I like his tape. I mean, his tape's good.
You know where Jordan Addison went to school? You know where Jordan Addison went to school?
USC.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Well, he was a transfer from he transferred and he got to USC.
He was one of them and one of them guys in the transfer protocol.
If you watch that kid's just got he just exudes confidence. He's got number one written all over him, although he's going to be number two, obviously, to Jefferson. But that kid's he'd be a legit number one.
I think them two are going to complement each other very well.
Yeah, that we talk about best duos of receiver in the league. I think that's going to be a top 5 one by the end of this year.
And you can't forget about the guy right now that is second. KJ Osborne.
Yeah, not a bad guy at all. It's number 3, man. I mean, look, Kirk Cousins, dude. What's funny about Kirk Cousins? He's the weirdest quarterback. People have shat on Kirk Cousins throughout the years, but that dude, man, the last 3 or 4 years, that dude's put up numbers and he's won. He's gotten that team into the playoffs.
My boy Slugger says, "Who cares about USC?"
I hear you.
They give me hell.
Hey, speaking of that, we talked about yesterday real quick. One of the guys who torched USC back in January, Tajay Spears, is looking really good right now for Tennessee, man.
Yes, man. I tell you what, he's getting a lot of playing time. Look, not to cut everybody off, but my boy Lance reminded us. Yeah, thank you, Fatty, for that.
Countdown,
listen, my boy Lance just said we got to remind everybody. I don't know if y'all know it, but next year for college, USC is opening against LSU in Las Vegas.
That's going to be fun. Hey, look, that's going to be you talk about a 50-50 crowd right there, dude. I mean, it's going
to be fun. I want to go there just to see the stadium, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's going to be a heck of a sight, man.
I promise you, I'm gonna be the only boy from Louisiana at USC. Yeah.
You might be, man.
It's all right. I can live with it. Look, I own it. Trust me. We've been so look. USC's been so bad the last 10 years. My God. Whew,
yeah, no,
Lord.
well, look, hey, I mean, always a good program though overall. Always good historical
Yeah.
program.
He said,
Yeah,
look,
man.
he said Spears. He likes Spears too. I like
Oh, dude,
Spears.
Tajay, man. I know people talk about the ACL thing with him not having this in his knee, not having that, dude. I don't look. I don't buy it. I know some teams backed off from him, but dude, that dude's gonna be a stud. I think
He's a football player.
Oh yeah, he's great in open field, dude. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Alvin Kamara, not completely, but he's got moves like Kamara. He's got that slippery factor.
He reminds me of Darren
Stronger than
Sproles.
what you look at him
He
as.
reminds me of Darren Sproles.
Yeah, maybe like a little stronger version, like a mix between Kamara and Sproles. A little stronger than Sproles, not maybe as explosive as Kamara, but he's a heck of a back, man. I mean, he's been looking really good in the preseason so far.
So it's really been looking good. So listen, guys, look, we're gonna come back on Tuesday. We're not getting off, but we're gonna come back on this coming Tuesday is our regular showtime. Make sure to tune us in. I think we got something going here on Sundays, man. We may need to come on before games because these guys are coming in like crazy.
Dude, I'm telling you, I really like the idea. I do, man. I tell you, I think once we get Chris back, Danton Bear makes an appearance. I think it'll be fun, man, on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, look, my guys are showing up and showing out, man. They really are. I told them so.
Hey, look. Hey, speaking of yesterday, man, I don't know. I thought people were a little bit harsh on C.J. Stroud. I see a lot of criticism around the league.
Me too.
And I'm like, dude, this guy's thrown like 20 passes in preseason. He's a rookie on a team that doesn't even know what their depth chart is like at receiver. You got a new coaching staff. I mean, I think people are being way harsh on this guy. I mean, I didn't even look at his numbers, Richie. I'm reading comments on Facebook, and I'm thinking this kid went like 5 of 20 with like 4 interceptions.
What's up,
he was like 7 of 12 with like no interceptions and no touchdowns. I'm like, okay, give the guy a pass. Well,
the thing about I think it is, Dave. What I think it really is. For the last couple of years, the rookie quarterbacks have been so good, and people are expecting that out of this class, and it's just not going to happen. I mean, you got to look at listen, normally when you're taking a quarterback that high, your team ain't that good.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, it's true, Rich. I mean, you don't have Burrows and Mahomes like that. Those guys just don't fall out of trees. I mean, Josh Allen had a really rough rookie year.
Think about that. The Mahomes and Burrow. Think about this. Burrow, Mahomes, and Josh Allen were lucky enough to go to good teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They all went to like you said, the Chiefs are already a playoff, near playoff team with Alex Smith, and then Buffalo was like a 7 or 8 win team, and dude, Josh Allen really struggled as a rookie. I mean, we talk about fantasy, dude. I ended up capturing that guy in 2 leagues because the guys that drafted him gave up on him after his rookie year. I mean, he was that inconsistent as a rookie, and then he made that jump from year 2 and then year 3. Yeah. So I think people are too, like you said. I think people are just impatient now. You're
right. Thank you for that, Fatty. He just brought it up about the C.J. Stroud comments. Go ahead, Fatty.
He went 7 for 12 for 60 yards yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't scream bust to me. I mean. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Tom Brady, but that doesn't scream anything bad to me. Yeah, I mean, I don't get that at all. I've seen people really bash that kid, and I don't understand it one bit.
I do believe that Bryce Young's going to struggle this year because of the talent around him.
I think Stroud has the better season. I really do. I honestly feel that way.
I like Richardson. I like Richardson.
Richardson's going to be really interesting, man, because I'd say that Colts team, man, I cannot gauge that team, dude. I mean, you look on the offense, there's talent.
Steven is asking what time we come on Tuesday. 7 o'clock, Steven, Tuesdays. Hey, listen, guys, thank y'all for joining us, too. Look, share the program. Look, share the site. Share the website we got. We're on different platforms. I mean, we'll share them on here, but we're on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram. We're on all the major platforms. Twitter, we're on all of them. So go ahead and check it out and share it. But yeah, I mean, like we're getting back to what you were saying about Stroud, man. I just think people need to give it a little time, and we'll see, because these guys are rookies. That's the main thing.
That's why it's going to be fun letting Chris. I know he's going to want to talk about that Tuesday. He was itching. I mean, we were chatting on one of our other threads that we have on Messenger, and Chris was really eager to talk about C.J. Stroud on here. So
yeah, we're gonna talk more about. We're gonna dive into all of that Tuesday
Yeah.
because I think this weekend was a really good weekend of football that we can dive into. We really got a good feel of people. You know what's going on like that. So we'll see. You know.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. Somebody said, "Look, my boy Slug is asking, what's the latest song Jimmy Graham?"
I don't know, dude. I mean, like, I hate to joke about it because everybody's joking about it. Like,
it's not.
But it's like,
the guy had a seizure.
yeah, that's what's scary. I mean, if this is real, I mean, if this ain't the Saints just, covering up something here, that's really scary. I feel for the guy. I mean, especially, how many of these football players we see that, that have something severe happen to them, or even die at a young age under 40. You know what I mean?
Well, my thing is this: why didn't they take him to the hospital instead of jail?
Yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah, Richie, that's a good point, man. And that's what makes me lean a little bit towards the Saints are going to say, there's no way they're going to say, hey, he went and got two.
Because usually when it's a medical condition, they immediately call the paramedics in.
Yeah,
and evaluate. I mean, I don't understand it. That
might have been medical marijuana. That's about it.
A lot.
But, I don't know. They might be like, look, let's go medical episode. Yeah, I mean that's what we were joking on. We were joking around saying, man, there are going to be people in Los Angeles entering these dispensaries looking for a herb called medical episode because that's how they refer to it with Graham. But I don't think it's honestly we don't know what to believe. I don't think we'll ever get the full truth on it. I just hope he's okay.
Yeah.
But no telling what really happened there.
I mean, eventually it's all going to come out. But Jimmy Graham was never nothing like that. That's what I don't understand. He was never.
Never a bad off the field guy or nothing. I mean,
he actually flies planes and stuff. So I think he's. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't be getting too crazy with that. I mean, that's like that's a no there.
That's it. So listen, what you think about? Did you get a chance to check out the Jets or what?
Man, it's funny. I've watched a little bit of Hard Knocks. I find it's really funny. I haven't watched it. Let me ask you this: the running back. I like that Izzy Abanikanda. I know all the attention's going to Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook now, but I like the kid that they drafted out of Pitt. I saw he had a little bit of a he's a New York guy too, so I kind of like that story. But
what they gonna do with Michael Carter?
He had a little bit of a knee injury. And that's just weird. Carter, I'll tell you, man, I could see Carter as a guy that gets looked at by another team and somebody offers something to get him in house because
I can't see them keeping all them running backs.
That's what I'm saying. I could see them throwing Carter out there, dangling him off to a team that's a little bit running back needy. Yeah, dude. Look, I like the Jets. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Jets are gonna be a really good team. But the Hard Knocks thing is funny, man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers.
Here's my thing. I like Saleh as a coach, but here's my thing. It's coming across to me. It's coming across to me as he's building a veteran team instead of a young team.
It's weird, man. I think it's funny. I think he's got some really good young pieces, though, man, with Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson and obviously Breece Hall. But it's weird. The one thing that's weird to me about that team, Richie, is the offensive line's a little bit suspect. And yeah, like you said, you do have a quarterback that's in the 40-year-old range. Look,
Darren and them said stable. I mean, they a couple of people saying about the Jets offensive line. It does look bad.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. You got the right quarterback who can handle that situation, but at the same time, like you're saying, it's weird. I mean, okay, when I look at this team is Zach Wilson. I mean, look, you had your opportunity. It didn't happen. But where do they really view him going forward? Is this, hey, let him sit behind Rodgers for a couple years?
Yeah.
Or is this like, let's be real, this guy's never going to be our starting quarterback. We're going to draft somebody a year or two from now, But I guess all that's going to have to play out. I mean, but right now they're in a tough division. I think they're a good team. I think they're going to be in that playoff hunt. I don't know what they'll do, but I think it'll be a pretty good story this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, my boy Darren just put. I mean, not sure Rodgers can still handle a bad offensive line. You never know. I mean,
and it's true. I mean, you go into a new system. Let's be real. I mean, late in his career, switching over. I mean, Brady, was able to do it. In Tampa, he had good talent around him with the receivers. But that line was a little more intact in Tampa. A lot of those guys were with each other, for a few years.
I mean, that's what they're trying to play it. That's what they're trying to compare it to is when Brady went to Tampa, and it's two different scenarios. I mean, that defense was ready.
Yeah, and I mean, and don't get me wrong, I think the Jets have a really good defense as well, but I think that Tampa front seven was a little bit more dangerous than what the Jets have. But I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting, Richie. I mean, it's similar stories, but like you said, they do have differences for sure with the personnel on those teams. I mean,
What's up, Steven? Tell me what you think
but
about tonight's game. Go ahead. I'm good. I'm listening.
no, so my thing is, dude, I just don't know. But I tell you about the Saints tonight, dude, man. My thing is, I just want to come out injury free, dude. I was really scared last week with Kendra Miller. We can't afford injuries. You know, what I mean, especially with DeMario a little banged up right now. Let's just go out, play hard. You know, like you said, let's see these young guys do something. But let's be real, the scoreboard doesn't matter. You know, what I mean, to me, I don't care if we lose by 10. You know, if our guys look good and they come out healthy, you know, it's a good night.
Yeah. Thanks, Steven. Steven agrees with you. He said no injuries. Let's get out of this healthy and stuff. I think you're going to start winding. I think they're going to start winding. I don't think a lot of starters are going to play the next game at all. I really don't.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's really weird. I mean, you're looking around the league, Richie, and I mean, I was surprised. I guess this is the game. Like, I was watching Buffalo and Pittsburgh a little bit. Josh Allen, you know, played a little bit. Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, those guys. But I think, like you said, each coach that, whether it's week 1 or week 2, they're letting their guys play a little bit. And then after that, it's like they just, that's it for them,
My boy Slugger just said, LA weather report, hurricane and earthquakes.
Wow. Yeah, dude. I tell you, it's got to be weird out there. I mean, man, how far away are they? When is that hurricane set to hit? That's what I'm interested
right now.
I mean, it's hitting like tonight. Like
as we speak.
So now Los Angeles, okay, so man, you're talking about a city that's,
Fatty, bring that up real quick if you can, where this thing's at.
So where the Saints are playing is in Inglewood, technically, right? That stadium.
Yes,
it's in
Inglewood.
Inglewood. Yes. Now, I've been to Los Angeles once in my life, a couple years ago. So I'm thinking from the coastal area, man, you only got maybe, I might be wrong on this. Somebody who's a little more familiar with LA can maybe say it, but I want to say you're only about 20 minutes or so from like the Santa Monica Pier when you talk about England.
Hey, they said the weather. He said he added on. My boy Steven added on to that weather and gummies.
There you go.
These guys here. Oh my goodness! Now they had earthquakes today as well. My God, these guys are something. They keeping us up to date. I tell you that.
Oh yeah.
This group will keep us entertained all night long and torn.
That's what I'm talking about, man. We got to keep doing this all the time, man.
They coming out of everywhere.
I tell you, dude, it's but I'm saying, Richie, but where is it hitting? Is it hitting like the Los Angeles area?
He just brung it up. It's kind of around. See, it's on land now, so.
Is it more towards San Diego, I guess? Or
it's a tropical storm, though, at this point.
So it dropped down. Okay. So it's good.
We go play baseball.
This is a bunch of rain.
Yeah. This is a thunderstorm to us. Come on.
Yeah, that's dude, we go outside and try to play baseball and that type of shit. Yeah, I mean, I used to go out and see how far the ball would carry, in a tropical storm, shit. I mean, when I was a kid, we were like 12 years old. We're like, hey, man, we might have a shot of hitting a home run.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
I'm trying to find where they're at. There they are, about right where my thing is.
That's a good producer, man. Bringing up the weather, the radar, and everything, huh?
Dude, Bob Breck came and do this, man.
Now, this is a special show.
That's what I'm saying, man.
San Diego's right there by the cursor, right there.
We need a weather woman to come on here.
We got one. It's Fatty right now.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. What a show. What a show. Yeah, look, Steven just said, Steven, thank you for that. Steve said, just say, bring that up, Fatty. That comment Steven Lucia, what he just put up. I agree with that. The Saints are going to have very hard cuts to make at running back, wide receiver, and tight end.
Yeah, dude, they got a lot of tight ends, man, in house. And and wide receiver, dude, what's funny? Like, James Washington's already gone. Now, everybody's like saying that Traquan's going to be on the squad, but man, my question is this, man, nothing personal, but why are we just like putting him as a fixture in the receiving corps right now? This guy's been super inconsistent for 4 years now?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. A.T. Perry's got to be, if he does anything like what he did in that game last week, A.T. Perry's got to be a fixture.
You think? But with Rashid, he's nursing this injury. He's still your third guy, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once he gets back healthy, I think that's going to be the case. Who's the other cat? Kawan Baker. Could make it on special teams. Yeah, it's going to be in running back too. I just want to see our guys stay healthy. Running backs, we've had some injury problems, but And like you said, you're not going to have Kamara for 3 weeks. I mean, we won't forget that.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard, Thank you that Darwin just shared something. Thank you for sharing that. But yeah, man. I mean, look, this is gonna be an interest. This I think this year is very interesting because we all thought after last year the Saints was gonna go in a different route with this team. We thought maybe rebuild, start from scratch, but it looks like to me they're going all in. And listen, I've talked to several of my other guys on different networks and stuff that I'm friends with in different states because with me being a super fan with the Saints, I get to meet a lot of different people, and I always kind of keep in contact with them because I like to know what's going on with other teams. And I tell you what, man, a lot of them believe the Saints are one of the top teams in the NFC right now.
Dude, I was reading I was looking at something. My daughter got me into TikTok a while back, of all things. And I'll tell you, there was a guy talking about, I don't know which show this came. Might have been off an ESPN show or something, but he made a good point. He said, man, the Saints face some of the worst quarterbacks on their schedule this year. I mean, let's be real. That schedule is not that,
they don't even face a decent quarterback till week 11.
I mean, look at our division, dude. I mean, we don't know who's going to be the quarterback in Tampa, Baker or Trask. Neither one of them scares you at all. I mean, Desmond Ridder is, still a guy with just a handful of starts who looks suspect.
Yeah.
I mean, Bryce Young, we're hearing bad things so far. I mean, he's a rookie, so he's going to take his lump.
So Steven, just bring up that, Fatty, bring up that Steven comment just now. So Steven just put, Traquan Smith is history. Don't sleep on Shaq Davis.
I mean, I would agree. I don't understand how, Traquan, I hear a lot of writers locally just saying, oh, well, he'll be in the mix because he knows the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to get past, that's a waste of a roster spot. I don't care if a guy knows the offense. You can learn the damn offense. Everybody's going to learn the offense by the end of August. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. If he's learned the offense so well, how come he's the most inconsistent receiver on the roster the last 4 years,
I mean, I don't even know how he's still on this team, Dave, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't either, man. And he's been a disappointment, man, because when we drafted him, I'm like, okay, well, hey, here you go. This guy could be a nice number 2 or number 3 receiver. I mean, obviously Mike was the alpha. But, man, he just hasn't, he hasn't really panned out.
I mean, hopefully, I think that, honestly, right now, I think the receivers, I think they're going to keep 6. I don't think they're going to go to 7.
See, I don't think they can go beyond it because here's the X factor in this whole thing is Taysom Hill. You know what I mean? Because Taysom technically plays tight end.
But the thing about it is, if you're going to keep 7, if you're going to keep 6 receivers, how many cornerbacks are you going to keep? Because they deep at cornerback too right now.
Yeah, and and that's the thing, dude. And it's funny because I've always been a big Taysom guy. I always like Taysom, but it's like and I'm big. I think Taysom's still a massive part of this team. I think the way he can affect the game in so many different ways. I mean, it's hard to that's a rarity in this league. I mean, he's there's nothing like him in the rest of the league.
Chris, Fatty, what's going on with this guy? Somebody said the boot.
Wait, who's that now?
Oh, I can't hear you, Fatty.
I don't know. He's putting up a link of it's going to start. The match is going to start. I mean, it's not like we can click on it.
Okay.
Even if we want to watch it, we couldn't watch it. We get hit with copyright.
Yeah, y'all just be weird and stuff like that. That's all.
Yeah, entertain himself.
What is it, Richie? What is it?
It's a part of being live. Some guys sharing some live stream or some match or something about to throw out on our feed. I don't know.
I think it's the Saints game, but
he's trying to share the Saints game.
I tell you, look,
we can't play it.
Steven just put up, man. Look, AJ Perry and Shaq Davis are both 6'5". That's some big boys there.
Perry, hey, Richie, I don't know on that throw, man. The throw he caught from Jameis, man. It was a really nice grab. I mean, what's with these big receivers? What I look for?
Yeah,
I look for how athletic, in midair they could be. I mean, dude, he turned his body. He had good body control. I know that's something you hear Mel Kiper and Todd McShay during the draft. They talk about these big guys with body control. He seemed to go up and get the ball really well, but he looked like he was in control of what he was trying to do. He didn't look like a floppy rooster out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this dude, he looked clean.
Yeah, you're right. So listen, y'all. Look, with 10 minutes left, we're gonna go ahead and sign off here to everybody. Look, thank everybody for joining us tonight. It was so much fun in this short little period. Everybody joining in with their comments. That's what we like. Look, make sure y'all share the page, man. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. We even have a Spotify channel you can listen to on your way to work in the morning if you want to. You don't have to watch the show.
Do it from work. Like you said, Richie, that's a perfect call right there, man. While you're sitting in the office doing nothing at work, there you go.
Look, share the handles. Listen, some of y'all, and look, this year, we already talked about it. We're going to bring on so many viewers, some of our regular viewers that join us. Fatty will send you the link. We welcome you to come join us for a few minutes, with your questions and comments and stuff. It's good to do. So listen,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Dave, thank you for joining us. Fatty, thank you for doing everything you do for us, man. We much appreciate it. Make sure, look, share your link right quick before we get off. Y'all make sure to join these geeks, the Bayou Geeks.
if you want, I mean, this is if y'all want. If y'all want to like go like before halftime, well, for halftime, it's Richie. Just throw me a text. Y'all let me know.
I will. All right.
All right.
Thank y'all,
Like
Dave.
5 minutes before halftime or something, and we can hurry up and jump on. Y'all could go halftime and maybe talk in it because I know by third quarter everybody's
That's cool.
starters are playing. So
All
let
right,
me
my
know.
brother. Thank y'all.
Good job.
All right,
Good
buddy.
word,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, bro.
All right, guys.